Hello everyone, today I'm going to continue the stories of the Sipurim of the Tzaddikim, and on the 5th of Av it's going to be the Hilula, the yard site of the ARI Hakadosh, the Arizal, his name was. His actual name was Rabbi Yitzchak Luria, and his father's name was Solomon, and he was actually an Ashkenazic rabbi who also descended from Rashi, and his mother was from a Sephardic descent, so he was a total mixture. And in fact, the legend says that when his great father, Rabbi, was learning inside the Beit Knesset, Eliyahu Hanavi appeared to him and told him that you are going to have a son, that you're going to call him Yitzchak, and he's going to become a great Kabbalist. He's going to be able to learn all the hidden depths of the Zohar and reveal all of it. And he also instructed Eliyahu Hanavi to the father, Solomon, of Rabbi Yitzchak Luria. He said that you are not going to give his Brit Milah until I come and I am going to be his sandek. That's what he ordered. And little did he know that actually did happen. So in fact, the father of the Arizal, Solomon, passed away sadly at a very young age, and he was raised up in Mitzrayim, in Egypt, in the city of Cairo, from his uncle. His uncle's name was Rabbi Mordechai of Francis, who was actually a tax farmer working in Cairo, also a big Talmid Chacham, a big Torah scholar also. And he sent the Arizal to a great yeshiva in Egypt, in Cairo, and his teacher was the Radvaz, a very great Torah scholar, and he started learning at such a young age. At the age of 15, the Arizal, Rabbi Yitzchak Luria, he actually got married and to his cousin, and he got married and continued learning in yeshiva for many years. And at the age of 22, he started learning the Zohar, the Kabbalah, and the greatest mystics of the Torah, and to such a higher premium level. At the same time, actually, he very much was also working. He was working in the spices field and wheat. He sold a lot of pepper, and it was at a time where he moved to Tzfat also at this time. And in the city of Tzfat, there was a lot going on. And what's interesting was, for 7 years, between the age of, while he was in his 20s, he secluded himself for 7 years and learned Kabbalah inside the island which his uncle, Rabbi Mordechai Francis, owned, and studied there for 7 years by himself while he was married and he had kids, and he would return home every Shabbat. And he was actually known, when he went back to the house, not to speak much. He only spoke in Lashon HaKodesh, only in Hebrew, and said very little words. Only when it was something necessary to speak, he would speak, and was learning for 7 years, and became that great, gigantic Torah scholar during that period of time. And he moved in the year 1569 eventually to Tzfat. He went with his wife and kids over there. Initially went to Yerushalayim and then went to Tzfat and started learning under Rav Moshe Cordovero, also the author of the book of the Tomer Devoran, the Pardes Rimonim. And he learned in Tzfat for a short time, already had a great recognition, a great status at that point in time. And after Rabbi Moshe Cordovero passed away, the Arizal actually became the leader of this gigantic Kabbalistic circle in Tzfat in the year 1570 till 1572 when he passed away. And during that time he gathered a massive chabura of great Talmudic Kabbalists and scholars where they learned under a great prestige at that point in time. And it was a time period where Tzfat was thriving with business under the textile industry. It was one of the main places in the entire world when it came to textiles, and he was one of the main people. He was. That's why they had. It was very rich place, so they were able to encourage so many great rabbonim to come. That's why it was thriving. The Kabbalah was over there in the Beit Knesset, and he lived for 2 more years and had this great Torah status as a great Kabbalist. And his students were, including his Chavruta Torah, also Rabbi Chaim Vital, who also later on wrote a book, a Perush, called Etz Chaim, which was all based on the Arizal, which was in 8 volumes. And in fact, the Arizal himself ordered his students not to release his manuscripts, and it was only released many years later afterwards, and it's even learned in modern day. That's how much of a great person he was. The ARI taught the Zohar to the greatest of levels, and he actually had a principle that every mitzvah every prayer and every line of Torah has got a great amount of significance to it, and he very much embodied this and encouraged this. One more thing I want to say is that just before he passed away, a lot of the graves in Tzfat of the Talmudists, of the great people from the Gemara time period, from the Talmudic time period, was hidden. People didn't know where it was, and him and many of his students, they came and they were able to find out where were the Kavarim, the graves of all these great Rabbonim, and were able to restore them, and where people could pray with, and they did the Tikkunim over there. Also, he was very famous for davening on the Shabbat, Erev Shabbat. They went to the fields of Tzfat in their white robes, and they davened, they sang the Lachadodi, the Tefillot, and the different Tehillim before Shabbat came in, and which many people practice today. They wear white. And tonight actually happens to be the Hilula of the great Arizal, Rabbi Yitzchak Luria. And maybe we will light candles in his memory, and Bez Hashem, kids, all the great mitzvot he's done be of a great essence for all of us. I want to wish you all a fantastic day. Bye.